What's up everyone, my name is Nightrow and welcome back to some more The Tower of Five Hearts. On the last episode we finished the visual novel and we got the kitty ending, and from what I saw it was happy. So now we're gonna, and I was looking out to see how I can get the other actual endings, but I couldn't find it except for one, which is basically the threesome ending. Now this is kinda curious, but I wanna see how this looks. And I'm gonna assume it's gonna be Momo and Tomiko. So I'm guessing that we're gonna end up going with those two for this part of the video. So let's go ahead. I already got like a guide on how to get that ending specifically. So let's go ahead. After that, I'm just gonna skip on everything until we get to the next part of the choices. Hopefully that doesn't skip over. Because from what I can see here, the one you're supposed to pick whatever. The dryness in your mouth seems to intensify, and the little slip up could become an issue if left unaddressed. On the other hand, it could result in a little more fun. So, and here you're supposed to go and pick call out, according to this little guy. Hello. You hear a small meep from the other side of the door, followed by a muffled thump. That's still not enough to let you figure just who it is, though. But the opportunity to spook a new mate of yours after the listening and you noisily getting yourself off. Okay. I think this is the point where we can just skip. I think this is the part when she, and for the first time she goes into the bath, fall asleep, and then she gets sick. So, okay, now here we go and pick the next part for this ending. How should I deal with the situation? That was out of line and they were just trying to help. Okay, so here we're supposed to be siding with Tomiko and we had to go ahead and pick that was out of line. So let's go with that. Okay, let's read this new dialogue because I never read it before. How should I deal? Okay, that froze? Oh, never mind. It was out of line for you two to meddle in with my meal. Oh yeah, I think I read this one. Did I? No, I don't think I did. I read the other one because I wanted to be nice. That was out of line for you two to meddle with my meal. You ruined someone's hard work, and now she's crying out somewhere, thinking me getting sick was all her fault. We're sorry, mistress. Really sorry. The two of them looks absolutely mortified, their eyes wide with horror. Both of you, Tomiko, can remain angry in the face of such innocence. The little devils are weaponizing their cuteness against me. Please go apologize to Momo and don't do anything like that again. I much prefer that my guts remains where they belong. Okay, what the fuck? Tomiko steps out forward and hauls them back up onto their feet, but gives you the questioning look as if expecting something. When she realizes that you aren't about to dish out any kind of further punishment, she pushes them gently up and down the hall, sending them scrambling off in the search of the bunny maid. Is there anything I can do for you, mistress? After all the vomiting, I could really use something warm to drink. The dog girl's tails wag eagerly, seemingly gratified to have something to do. It'll be my pleasure, mistress. I do hope you feel better soon. I do too, Tomiko, I do too. My head still really fucking hurts. You return to your bed, but you still don't feel like you're getting an actual rest. Thankfully, Kitty soon enter your room with a basket on hand and a steaming mug of... Okay. This is the point we can go and skip to the next part of the scene. But if they do show on you like a... If they do show a new scene we haven't seen before, then I will show it. Unless it's a sex scene, at that point I'm just gonna skip it entirely. So let's go. Okay, we're in the next part of the options. I wonder if which of them I should think in particularly. They'll try to help in their own individual ways. So this one we're gonna be going for Momo. I just realized I originally was planning on doing Aiko's ending next, but I think I should do this one first. So let's go with Momo. You tell Momo, and as she moves into the kitchen, watching her put a small saucepan onto the stove. Hello, Mistress Marie. How are you feeling? Yeah, a lot better now. I wanted to thank you personally. I really appreciate all you've done for me. The bunny girl grins brightly, leaning towards you and sliding a warm hand across your forehead. Not even a day here, and you're already sweet on me. Are you sure you're better quiet yet? Hey, don't get too ahead of yourself. She giggles as she pushes off your brow, turning back to the stove. She picks up the saucepan and pours into its content into a mug. The sweet smell of chocolate hits your nostrils a moment later. Cocoa? Cocoa? For you, of course. I imagine that Tomiko has made your bed for you by now. Why bother making the bed when I'm about to climb into it? Because it's a proper way for things to be done. Come, Mistress Marie. You may be feeling a bit already, but an early bedtime will still serve you quite well. You pout but you refuse to be swayed. In order to convince you to come quietly, she slips her arms into yours and let you enjoy her company during. Wait, why are we in her room? During the all too short walk up to your bedroom. Just as she said, your cheeks have indeed been turned down after detaching herself from you, and she dips in a dainty little bow and gives you a parting smile. Sweet dreams, Mistress Marie. Okay, we're in the next part where we pick. Would you like to come play with us, Marie? You must be bored to simply lay around. And this is where we go and pick Will. Okay, and now we get to play with both Momo and Tomiko, I think. And I think Aiko and Mutsumis are also playing, but we're mostly doing this for the Tomiko and Momo ending. So let's go with that. Would you like to come play with us, Marie? You must be bored and simply laying around. Okay. What? Well, it looks like the team will be uneven otherwise. Oh, poor cutie, she said. The fox may pause a little, but accepts the offer of her hand from Tomiko, climbing to her feet and brushing herself off. Do you know how to play? Well, there's a net and a ball. With a grin, Tomiko pulls you into her side of the field. You glance at the Momo, trying to mimic her stance. That's pretty much it. Just hit the ball over the net onto their side of the field and don't let it touch the ground on your side. Okay, I'm guessing they're playing volleyball? Simple, right? I'm sure she's neglecting to mention a lot of things, but you don't want to interrupt the flow of things, so you not and take up a position on a third of the field. Once you all seem ready, Tomiko throws the ball up and then hits it up and over to the other side. Eep! Aiko jumps in surprise and reflexively slapping the ball back more by chance than any competitive intent. You freeze in place, but Tomiko is already in motion, leaping to intercept the ball. When Mutsumi jumps upward to respond in kind, a silent agreement is instantly enforced between you and the other three mates on the field. From there on out, you, Momo, Aiko, and Kiri all make sure to aim the ball at either Tomiko or Mutsumi. That way, the rest of you can stand back and admire just how the boobs of the well-built duo once majestically with their every step and swing. Even if I were to die today, I will be content with everything I've seen. Perhaps you should have tempted fate, as you both their slack jaw and drooling you and Momo managed to walk right into each other. Oof, mistress. Okay. Ow. You blink up at the sky and the rest of the girls crowd around you, concerned on their face. You sigh and wave them away. and grumbling as you stagger to your feet. That's on me, wasn't paying attention. Even after you show that you're already alright and unharmed, they still seem rather uncomfortable about the accident, realizing that anything you say will only make them feel more guilty. You insist on instead pick up the ball once more. I know, why don't we play a nice game of dodgeball? Eep! Oh damn. Okay, here we're in the next part of the choice. So the cat girl finally takes mercy upon you, pulling her hands away as she leans back to give you space, but she's blushing underneath you scrutiny as she becomes properly aware of how she is straddling in your lap. Okay, so from what I can read here, the next part we go with play with her. Oh, I think this is the scene where Marie is literally playing with Aiko. And I'll have to censor that. I'm just gonna censor everything else except for from top of their head to everything else. I think I said that correctly. Whatever, you'll see it one way or the other. Okay, I decided I'm not gonna show the entire thing with Aiko. And I mean that one scene in the bath, because that was way too long. And it will take the entire episode, so I decided to not include that except for the first part of the scene, so I'm gonna let you guys imagine how the post looks like or whatever. So let's just continue with this for the next option. Well, unfortunately, I think I'm still growing, anyways, my type, and we go with woman. Right? Yeah. Well, fortunately, I think I'm still growing, blah blah blah. Is that all? Well, it's not like I have anything to gain by lying to you about this. I like the female figure. I like their boobs, their butts. I like their I understand. She gives you a scandalized look, thrusting her hands out towards your mouth, as if it might stand your tide of words. Be careful what you seek the answer to, Mutsumi. You might just find that I got some very, very deep answers. I will keep that in mind, mistress. You lean in and start ruffling her frill until you have a wriggling, humming and smiling lizard girl on your hands. So was there anything else you need, mistress? If not, I need to find Aiko. She's helping me with my lessons, you see. Go ahead, I'll be down later. Now that you're alone, get in your stretch out of the bed for a moment. Man, I really need spirit help here. Okay, I already read this part, so let's go ahead and skip for the next option. Okay, now we're in the next option, so it doesn't say specifically here what it is, so well, it says stay with me, so I'm guessing it says invite her into bed. So let's go with that. Hopefully that's the right option. Okay, let's see the new dialogue. I didn't read it. Fuck. Yes, mistress. I think this is the part when she's scared of the thunder and all that stuff. You put the cup down and shuffle sideways towards the center of the bed to make some room, giving the vacant spot a little pad. I'm not too fond of Storm myself, really. Why don't you keep me company? Momo blushes, her unusual aplomb nowhere to be seen. With a jerky nod, she starts to undress. Guilt washes through you as her outfit hits the floor, replaced by a warm flush of arousal when she stands before you. Okay, another thing I had to censor. You drag your eyes up her body, from the bottom of her feet to the tips of her ears, appreciating how her long stocking accentuates her turn rear, on which her cute little puffball tail okay, that sounds adorable. Her cute little puffball tail twitches in response to every little rumble in the skies above. Do you not actually own nightwear, Mistress Mary? I've been meaning to ask. Nope, I've always preferred sleeping in my underwear. That or nothing at all. Perhaps you'd like to get a bit more comfortable. Yeek! You poor bunny girl. Attempt at flirtation is immediately interrupted by a particularly enthusiastic lightning strike, dropping all pretenses of sensuality. What the fuck is that? Of sensuality, she bolts into bed up against you. What the hell did I saw? She trembles against your side, the pounding of her heart rivaling the sounds of the storm. To stroke her hair, making comforting little hunching noises. And truth be told, storms normally spooks you a bit as well, but when faced with Momo's abject terror, your own fear seems laughable. It's only later, much later, that there's a momentary break in the storm. Now that the roar of the thunder dulled to a mere distant rumbling, Momo glances up at you. I'm sorry, mistress. Storms are very rare and where I'm from. I'm not yet accustomed to them. And that the tower is so tall, practically kissing the clouds. He's just asking for trouble. The bunny maid squirms, and you give her a head another pat. Your breakfast has gotten cold. It can wait. The combined excitement of the storm and Momo proximity has kept your stomach from growling out loud from the long and at least her body is warm and smooth to the touch, her legs having entwined themselves with your own at some point. It has become more intimate than I expected. The other mates will wonder what is keeping us. They'll manage without us for a little while. I won't consider this an intimate, not while lightning is striking. Yeah, right above our heads. She hits Momo's limb, frees you, having reflexively clamped around you in fear. It's nice in some ways to have her wonderful body pressed against yours, but you prefer that her sweat be from the heat of passion exertion, and not the cold one of terror. It actually is. I'm not really familiar with how to comfort someone. You're doing quite fine. Almost ear twitches against your face, and when she nestles her head in. Damn, that scared the hell out of me. Man. Sup, boy?
You still online?
Yes, I'm recording right now.
Oh, I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm recording on my laptop. The visual novel, remember?
Alright, then, when you're done recording, join my party.
What?
When you're done recording, join my PS4 party.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
But. Okay. Traces against her face, blah blah blah. Okay. Crooks from your neck. Off your neck. You know that it won't actually help much, but you gently fold her ears against her head, as if trying to keep the sounds of the storm from reaching her. Little by little, the pauses between flashes of lightning and booms of thunder extends. The storm seems to be moving further away now. Couldn't I just see her anyway, mistress? Looking down at Momo again, you find that her eyes have opened, and her mouth has shaped itself into a very familiar mischievous grin. Her hands have found your stomach, and her hips are wiggling in every unchaste manner. For better or worse, the sound of footsteps outside your room provides something else to focus on. Momo lets out a stiff yelp when you nudge her away from you. With a stern look from you, though, she relents, slipping back into her claw with surprising speed. She seems to step back into her shoes and throw her apron back over her and head in a single smooth motion. When she's presentable once more, she moves up to the door just as someone knocks against it. Come in. Momo steps aside to allow Aiko to step into your room, a curious expression on that cat girl's face. Did something happen? The two of you have been up here quite a while. Oh, nothing. It was simply quite difficult to wake Mistress Marie up, that's all. You raise an eyebrow at the rabbit maid, silently questioning the interpretation of events. She gives you a cheeky wink in response. Yeah, sorry, thunder just really puts me to sleep, you know? You're not as convincing you're not convincing as a liar as Momo. Aiko narrows her eyes as she gives the rabbit maid a sniff. She's on to us. Okay, then we'll hopefully that storm will blow over soon, so you can finally wake up properly. I'll be back in a few minutes. To help you get dressed, then, Marie. She bows before heading back downstairs. Momo follows her, but before she leaves, she pauses in the doorway to blow you a parting kiss. You roll your eyes at her back, sitting up and grabbing a long neglected plate of waffles and cup of coffee from your nightstand. Even though it's all stone cold by now, breakfast is still delicious. Okay, I think we can skip this part now. Okay, now we're in the next option. I mean, we already did this, so I think I'm just gonna skip to the next one afterwards. I'm just gonna skip it to begin with. Fuck it. You guys already seen. Okay, now we're in the next option. Again, you guys already seen this, so I'm just gonna skip the dialogue like I did with the last part. So let's go with her lips. And now we skip. Okay, now we're in the next part of the option. Okay, to shed that stigma by finally winning your hand, I will gladly pass up my own chance at happiness to let her help so many of us at home. Okay, if I remember correctly, when I do my playthrough, I picked the first one, which is it'll be okay. So I'm gonna go with this. You could be the one I choose. And that's the answer for this part. Really? Nothing is set in stone. So even if I'm picked, what will happen if it's all cutie lizard wise for the next dozen generations? What'll happen to the other nations then? Mutumi spends far longer thinking about this system than you have. It seems there are issues with it you can't even begin to comprehend. I'll look into this more in the future, but on to more pleasant topics. How have your lesson with Aiko been going? Okay, we're in the next option. My bag is reaching its limit, so from what I can read here, the next option should be pounce on them. And we already seen this part, so I'm just gonna skip it after picking the option. They inch closer towards you, unable to hide their grin now, and in the back of your head, a tiny little childish voice asks you to go on and put up a fight. Pounce on them. Yep, pounce on them. Okay. Okay, now we're in the next option. Oh, thanks. Well, in that case, I'm not sure what was the conversation, but it says to go with Momo, right? Yeah, Momo. Your bunny maid pauses for a moment, humming in thought. She looks to Tomoko for a moment, who also seems to be in deep in concentration. We plan to clean up the bathroom actually. Do you think you could spend some time with Aiko first? Me? I'm very sorry, Mistress Maggie. It's just we prefer to get this out of the way as early in the day as possible. I guess that's fine. I don't have any problem with that with that idea. Aiko smiles shyly, squirming in her chair. Why don't you join me for now, Aiko? I'd love to. Okay. I think we've already seen this dialogue before. Probably. I don't remember what options I picked for that one. He was right about the weather. It's quite nice and warm. Yeah, it's windy but not unpleasant, so should we grab ourselves a seat then? Well, okay. You know what, I think I'm gonna leave this dialogue till you take a seat that the picnic table was scattered about. Hold on, you reach into the basket. Okay, I think I already read this, so let's go. Okay, now we're in the next option. I'd rather not. It's just a sad story. Okay, it says to go, let it go. I think I already read this part of my playthrough. Okay, I think we can skip this. Okay, now we're in the next option. So, Mistress Mary, which of us would you like to learn more about first? And it says here to go with you and Tomiko. Momo smiles, still rubbing her hands up her legs. She gives you a thigh and your thighs a soft squeeze of encouragements. Well, don't keep us in suspense, Mistress Mary. I can hardly get any more personal than this oily made sandwich. Their hands all over your lovely skin. Okay, that's only making it more difficult to ask this. Tomiko giggles behind you, her waggling tail, making an audible, repetitive slapping noise against her own body. And give it a go anyway, Mary. Do the two of you really share a bed? Oh, blushes, but deigns to answer, only offering you an adorable coy smile. It's true, I simply can get to sleep alone, and Momo is so snuggly and warm. You're giving me some rather interesting mental image here. Tomiko's breath against your ears suddenly feels a lot more sensual now, and Momo's being rather uncharacteristically shy and quiet. Are you imagining the three of us naked together under the covers or something? A shiver rippled down your spine, parallel to the dogmate's soft hand alone to the skin of your back. My imagination was quite that detailed, at least not until you worded it like that. Well, we're only sleeping, nothing more. Oh, Momo likes to act all confident when it comes to stuff like this, but when I asked her, she was so nervous she's actually asking me to preserve her innocence, if you can believe it. That's adorable. It's not adorable. It is, and for all your reluctances, soon enough you will all snuggle up into my boobs, nibbling and kissing. Tomiko! Momo's scandalized expression has both you and Tomiko jump back a bit. Don't be angry, it's cute and nice. But Momo flaps her hand before her face, but that hardly sufficient explanation. Let's see, I've never had this option before, so let's see. Momo flaps her hands before her face, but that hardly sufficient explanation. Okay, the next option says, I think it's hot. The voice trails off listlessly, both girls eyeing you with bated breath. I mean, I think it's kind of hot. I really don't know how to approach this. That's understandable. Frankly, polyamory is rare even in my own homeland. I can only imagine that you had even less exposure to such ideas. Alright, so let's just say that if you two are, entangled, that's okay, really? Are you worried that we won't love you the same, Marie? I'm worried about that other time. It's hard to think properly when the two of you are working me over like this. And that's before factoring in the fantasies of the three of us in an oily threesome. The tickling of interest in your depth has your thighs squeezing together. Before you know it, already you're unable to contain the flow of excitement from between them. Momo gives a significant glance down towards your panties, but lets the obviously growing darker blotch of clothes go unmentioned, though. She does let out a muted and delighted hum. It really wouldn't bother you, Mistress Mary? You'd be fine with the idea of marrying both of us? If I were to shoot through you girls, I am not really adamantly against the idea. It will give my family a shock, I suppose. Though the idea of shocking them makes it even more tempting, I must admit. Tomiko snickers as she gently tweaks one of your ears. We won't keep you any longer than necessary, though. I'm sure there are other things you wanted to do today. You take a long deep breath, enjoy the luxurious soft feel of two mates' hands on your skin for just a little longer. That was quite pleasant. I don't think I have the energy to even stretch right now. Well then, would you like to simply rest here and continue talking with us while we clean up? We both certainly enjoyed your company, Mistress Mary. Absolutely. Okay, now we're in the next option. It's more comfortable without clothing. That's the next option. I don't remember how this went, or did I ever see it? Did I pick the other one? I think I picked the other one. The lizard girl freezes up against her back. You can hear her breath catching in her throat. Are you sure? We just talked about how it's unfair to get in touchy or naughty, or anything like that. Don't worry about that. I just want to be comfortable here. Help me out really quick. Eventually, Mutsumi relents, helping you unhook your bra. You toss it away to some corner of the room, and your panties soon follow it. A moment later, you're wiggling your bare bottom against Mutsumi's thighs. She whimpers gently in response to your teasing. Oh my. When you glance back towards her, you see that she's struggling to maintain a neutral expression as she similarly slips out from her own panties. After you hear her likewise toss her undergarments from underneath the covers, she moves in close behind you, her breath watching against the back of your neck. More comforting than her actual warmth, though it's simple knowledge that her body is snuggled against your own. But mistress, are you really sure this is okay? You feel a smug smile grows on your face as you wiggle your rear against her and reach behind you to grab her wrist, dragging her arms forward until it hugs you around your waist. I'm quite sure now. Cozy up and enjoy a good night's sleep with me, okay? Your skin is really soft and you smell really nice. Her wandering toe wriggles against your legs for a moment before she gets back under control. Thank you. It's the result of all that lovely massaging from earlier. Now, sweet dream cutie. Sweet dreams, mistress. Although part of her kind of witches, she makes an advance on you. Her breathing soon settles into a slow, steady pace of sleep, and you soon join her. Okay, now we can skip to the next option. Okay, next option. My God, my God, my freaking back. I'm literally torturing myself like this. You chew on your bottom lip and ponder decisions for a bit. She might enjoy a free show. Now, this option says yes. If I remember correctly, I think Kitty's gonna come in and will see us butt naked. So let's go with this option. Yep. Okay, now we can skip this because we already read. Okay, for the semi-final option, we go with Tomiko. You snicker for a moment, but then you put the card down unmarked. As happy as you are, the Tomiko but in the effort to try and help you deep down, you're already sure of your decision. So yeah, Tomiko it is. Blah, blah, blah. I like Tomiko's chest the most, and I come to how firm and springy it is. Oh, is there a prize? Beyond just knowing I like your boobs most, Hannah decided on a particular reward yet, honestly. Then can I have a turn with yours, please? That only seems fair, almost. Alright then, Tomiko, have at me. Yay! She rushes up to you, her tails wagging so hard. It reaches around her body and beats against your hip. In front of hers, The motion has the delightful side effect of bouncing her boobs around around like a pair of puppies, really. So springy. Her heels skids along the smooth bathroom floor as she grabs onto your breast, her toes pointed up and towards the ceiling for a brief moment, with a rested moment. Yes, boobies! A giggle escapes out of you before you can continue it. Her earnest excitement at getting hands on with you, does too much. It melts into a moan, however, moments later. Her digits are incredibly dexterous, teasing and twinking at your nipples, while her palms knead into your flesh, with an instant motion you can only describe as milking. If you rub them like that, they'll grow big and firm like mine in no time. That's not true. Heavens no, I try with mine. Even if it's her reward for winning, it's so torturous watching her gets to turn you into a puddle. Why don't I share them? Come on, Momo, help me out here. Hey, that won't be fair to the rest of us. You won fair and square. It'd be meaningless as a reward if you just let everyone get into it. Fine. Unperturbed, Tomiko forges on with all kinds of methods of funneling, squeezing, rubbing, and pinching, filling your head with growing fuzzy heat. Both of your slip further and further into an arousal daze, until Momo loudly clears her throat. Tomiko, it's high time we get dressed by now. Can I have a few minutes first? Okay, now we can go and to the last option, which is the one we go pick the girls. Okay, now we have a new option right here, which is Tomiko and Momo. But now before, I'm pretty sure that we did not get this option, so let's go ahead and save beforehand, because I don't want to risk losing a lot of progress after that. Okay, let's go with Tomiko and Momo. And now we're finally at the end. Call me greedy, but I want both Momo and Tomiko as my wives together. And they have something between them that just as much as I do with them, and I want us all to share that feeling. To wins, you're not some megalomaniac villain looking to collect a harem or anything. That's just honestly how you feel. Okay, well, that's easy step over with. Now comes the hard part, getting them to see things the way I do. After all what I've turned me down, I can hardly force them into such an unusual agreement. I'm sure neither of them came here expecting a polygamous relationship. And of course, there's no telling how the royal court will react to your plan. Well, worrying about the court opinion is premature at this point. You need to talk with the two girls and themselves first. You walk back to your door, open it up, and call out into the stairway. Momo, Tomiko, there's something important I need from both of you. Could you hurry up here, please? Tomiko is the first to arrive at your room, so fast that you barely have a chance to finish walking back into it. What's the matter, Marie? Oh, just a moment. I think both you and Momo need to hear this at the same time. She's just making sure everything off the stove and out of the oven first. She shouldn't be longer than a minute. True, Tomiko words the bunny maid scrambles into your room, immediately afterwards gently brushing some errant flour off of her hands. I'm sorry for the delay, Mistress Marie, but everything should be sorted out by now. By the way, dinner is ready whenever you'd like to begin. That's great, thank you. but I think it'll be a moment before then. Now, I have something I'd like to ask you both, but I have no idea how to start. They were already giving you their full attention, but now they concentrate on you even more. Their eyes lock to your face even as you try to look anywhere but at them, overcome with nervous. Oh, to hell with it, with being diplomatic about it. It's time to be honest about what I want. Momo, Tomiko, will you both be willing to become my wives together? For a moment, it is as if time has frozen. The two maids openly gape at you. The only thing that marks the passage of time is your heart, pounding away with your chest until you hear a dull roar in your ears. Okay, you know what? No. This was an awful idea. Forget I asked. Anything, let's just get and go and eat. The maid moved together, causing your words to die in your throat. All they had to do is glance at it once more before stepping forward towards you. Together as one, bright smile across both of their faces. I will love nothing more than to be with you both. Same here. Overwhelmed with relief, you step back and collapse onto the edge of bed, laughing giddily as your head spins. You have no idea just how relieved I am to hear that. I was afraid that this was going to blow up in my face. What did you actually think we ever turned you down? We could never. They continue advancing towards you. Their smile is now far more mischievous. Honestly, it's more of a relief that you thought to ask at all. Say, Momo, you did actually finish taking everything out of the heat, right? Of course I did. I didn't cut corners when it comes to cooking. So now we have all the time in the world for. Okay. Okay, I can use it as a thumbnail. Before you can retreat further into the bed, Tomiko climbs in onto it to block your escape. Her tail's wagging wildly. Momo is buzzing, ensuring you don't escape from the front, sandwiching you in between the two girls. Damn, Tomiko looks hungry. I hope you don't mind getting team up on me, Marie. The third girls bite gently down on your shoulder with a playful growl, while Momo captures your lips in a passionate kiss. She trails a delicate finger over your chest, even as she's battled you for tongue supremacy. Hey, you two, you're making me feel left out here. With a gentle giggle, Momo gives you a lower lip, a parting nibble before pulling away to give Tomiko her turn. Much to her surprise, however, it's not your lips that the girl's is after but hers. You don't have to turn around to know how hard Tomiko's tail is wagging. It's beating against your side faster than faster. However, it's not that only part of you she's touching. For now, of her hands is slipping around your front to embrace your over your stomach. Damn. The two girls part from each other only to instantly attack your own lips. In turn, it's an awkward position given that Tomiko is leaning in from behind you, from your back, but she makes up for a bit by pressing her ample bust tightly against you. You settle for sticking out your tongue for both of them to toy with. They oblige sucking upon either side, even as they let out a lewd little moan of appreciation. Momo's hands make short work of your top, especially with Tomiko's assistance. From the back, their hands are all over your body then, cupping and squeezing at your tits. You are quite fun to play with. Overwhelmed, you're unable to respond with actual coherent words. Instead of to respond in kind, your own hands busily getting to work undressing the two mates, your two fiancés. Getting impatient, Marie? Why don't you get on your knees, and you naughty pup? You end your words with a sultry little growl, and you're glad you did, for for you can actually see them both shiver in anticipation. Oh shit. Okay, there we go. Tomiko pushes you both onto your backs on the bed, climbing onto you, grabbing your Momo coated hand. Okay. She licks it clean, but rather than swallowing as she expects, she instead ducks down and locks her lips to yours, her tongue shoving into your mouth with a gathered present. That present is the heavenly mixture of the combined juices of you, Momo, and Tomiko's own saliva. Without a chance to come down from the crashing waves of orgasm, your entire body simply frees up, unable to respond to this lewd finishing move. Momo collapsed beside you a moment later, gasping for breath and glistening with a sweat. Right when you think you can handle the horny pup any longer, the rabbit girl pulls Tomiko off of you to give her a kiss of her own. Oh my god. I can't feel my legs. Neither can I. Can't feel tongue. Sir? I don't know what the hell they're saying. Okay, that's the first bonus video for this series. Now, like I said before, originally it was supposed to be Aiko now, but considering that I wanted to do the hard one first, which is basically the threesome, I did that first. So now, officially the next one is gonna be Aiko. After that, the other girls. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this bonus video for the Let's Play. Oh my god, I think I'm just gonna go start recording now because I cannot take the pain in my back anymore. It's at a limit. I cannot hold it anymore. So guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.